Beautiful souls, part one of a two-part transmission. We are delving into and answering your question about how to ascend from 3D reality to 5-dimensional reality, the very first stages of this shift, and the vital signs that you can check within yourself to know whether you are creating and living from a 3-dimensional reality or whether you are indeed, in fact, shifting to a 5-dimensional reality, or even already living, breathing in a 5-dimensional realm. Enjoy today's transmission. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, so that we can reach more beautiful souls like yourselves. And I'll see you in just a few seconds. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we are pleased that you are here with us today. Your question is how to move from the 3rd to the 5th dimension. The message we want to bring for you around shifting from the 3rd to the 5th is that your entire cellular structure has to undergo its own complete evolution. This energy takes place in various forms, often as you sleep, because that's when there is the least resistance. That is when certain energies, when you are open to them enough, can work through your body. And in this cellular activation, also known as an upgrade, your entire self transforms. The identity of you, the physiology of you, the mental sphere of you, the emotional body of you, and even for many, the physicality of self shifts dramatically. And we can look at diets, we can look at nutrition. When one is shifting from 3rd to 5th, the entire input that goes into the system, you as the coder, as you code your own program, and as you live with the absolute knowing that you are, in every moment of your aliveness, you are the coder, which means that everything that is happening in your reality depends, is reliant upon you and what you choose and what you decide to input as a particular code into your own field for the result you desire. Now, if that isn't quite making sense, dear ones, we want you to see how programs are made. And the very beginning of a program, of any program, there is a specific code. Now, you as the human being inputs a code from your mental sphere, from your mental body. All code begins from the very top of the body. And if this energy is going through any kind of confusion, any kind of uncertainty, if clarity is missing from your mental sphere, then that means that the code that you're going to put into your own system is going to create one of what you've put in. So as you start your day, dear ones, let's look at how you start as the coder. Now, you want to shift from the 3rd to the 5th, which means you must look at your thoughts. Anything that comes into your mind, anything that is allowed a long period of time to remain in your mind, any thought streams that are allowed to carry a negative vibration, any thought streams that are allowed a long period of time to then speak to you to create stories. Lastly, you as the observer, as the receiver of all the thoughts, activities, are you listening to the activities of the mind? If you are listening and paying attention and giving your energy to that, that means that you are living in the third. Now that is the very first sign. So if you are sitting here listening to this transmission and you are already in thought, if you have been removed from being present, then there is work to do, dear ones. You see, when we speak of the very beginnings of ascension, the majority of human collective consciousness will not ascend. And we are saying this because it is easier to remain in the lower vibrational fields, because it requires the least work, the least will, and the least strength. Because to go and do, and to practice, and to give yourself that love, to give yourself better, to give yourself higher, it takes time. It takes a particular energy from you, whether you want to call it effort, whether you want to call it work, a particular consistency to show up for yourself, to remind yourself, to continue to observe the mind. This very first stage in the ascension process will see, and we do see hundreds and thousands just losing themselves here. They lose themselves because it's too much of a battle to be watching your own minds and your mental activity. If you watch your own minds and mental activities, you will be able to hear the onslaught of voices that are impure. If you are honest enough with yourself, you will notice that these stories are not only impure, but many of them are not coming from the core of your spirit. They have been absorbed from the outside world. You have gone on to believe these stories, which means this is the beginning of the belief system. Lastly, as you have gone on to believe the belief systems, as you build and create these to form structures in your body that limit yourself, all of this mental activity will then create self-sabotaging, negative self-talk to keep you in a particular place that feels suppressed. And if it is there long enough, then you start feeling depressed, which is simply a lack of life in the body. So if you can see this internal dialogue and you are unable to remove yourself, to transcend those thoughts and tell yourself that whenever you experience moments of absolute defeat, of absolute I can't do, in these moments, this is how you change, this is how you alchemize and bring your soul to the forefront of this program. Beautiful souls, remember the ascension process isn't a race nor a competition. The most vital aspect is being true to oneself and where oneself is on your journey. Part 2 will air next Friday. So remember to have your notification bells turned on so you don't miss the transmission, and let me know in the comments what resonated with you in today's transmission, what your takeaways were, and what you may be reflecting on. We're going to give you some space now to digest so that the intelligence of your body can go away and absorb, reflect upon, and start making those changes in your own growth and expansion. And I send you love and blessings until the next transmission, beautiful souls.